This is. Are we going to do? Wait. I had another question to ask you guys. I can't remember what the hell it was.
I use Bert. He was going to ask you what kind of lip balm I use. I use Burt's Bee.
That was not on the top of my mind.
Coconut and pear.
Isn't it Burt's Bees?
Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah, right.
Burt's Bees. You're right.
Yeah, because one bee is not going to make enough chapstick. You need multiple bees.
I must kill thousands.
Yes.
Yeah.
One bee is the shittiest chapstick ever.
Many bees died to bring us this.
That should be our intro, Josh. That should be our intro right there.
It could be.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the FTS podcast, Friends Talking Shop. You have joined us on our 20th episode. We have made it to the 20s. So far, we're all still employed. We're still friends, still podcasting. We've made it, and we've gotten on each other's calendar 20 times, which that is in itself, I think, a miracle.
Yeah, what was the toughest one for you guys to make? Let's do a retro right now of the 20.
Are you asking us to recall what episode number was the toughest to schedule?
Well, maybe not this specific episode.
That seems quite ridiculous.
For mine, it was when I was in the car. Remember the one where?
Okay, that's mine too.
Yeah,
that was really hard.
That's one we should not have gone forward with.
Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Live and learn.
I remember a podcast where you were on camera and then you ran off screen. Oh, that's all of them.
That's every one of them.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff going on here around me.
Yeah. Busy guy. All right, well, so I am your host, Dave, and I'm still at my remote location in Wisconsin, much cooler here than where I normally live. And I'm joined by two guys who've done this 20 times with me. First, I'll introduce Josh. Josh, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. I don't have a minor topic like Omar criticized me for last time, and he's doing. Here he goes. He's running away.
Right before the intro.
And now I have to vamp because his intro is next.
Yeah, stretch it out.
Yeah.
How are you really doing, Josh?
Yeah. But we do. It's exciting because not only do we have email this time, which we will read sometime during this episode, during the show, but it is a repeat email sender.
Yeah.
So this is the second email from someone. So I think we can call this person our biggest fan.
I think so.
If you have two emails from one person,
that's it. Puts you in the Hall of Fame if we had one.
Yes, that's for sure. Which I don't know when that's going to happen. Our Hall of Fame announcement.
Yeah, I don't know. I would posit that our biggest fan is the person who proselytizes about us the most to the masses.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it's one thing for them to express interest in our views on certain topics for personal growth reasons, right? Almost, maybe the person who emails is maybe our most selfish listener, honestly. There's a perspective. There's something to that.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah, right. Glass half empty.
Yeah. I mean, are you trying to chase away a third of our audience?
I'm trying to just put out there that I appreciate everyone who listens to us clearly. But I appreciate the people who go out to their masses and say, there's an interesting thing that we started listening to, and for some reason, I find it strangely addictive. Speaking of, I broke an addiction today, which I'm very excited about.
You broke an addiction? You broke a bad addiction.
Another one.
Wait, let's let Dave introduce you.
Let me introduce the strange fellow, and then you can tell us. So my third host is Omar. Omar, what addiction have you broken lately?
So I broke Instagram 3 days ago, or whatever it was, right?
It's a big step.
That's right. We heard that on episode 19.
And then I will get to the second one, but I will argue it's actually going to be a lot more difficult, but I think I can do it, and I have the reason why, and I'll get to it when I bring up my topic.
Oh, okay.
It's a major one. I think it's probably, arguably, the most addictive thing in the world.
So you're off heroin?
Yeah.
Heroin is very addictive.
It has to be, right?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, it must be, I would never try heroin, but it must be really good because people are willing to throw away everything for it.
Yeah, family, jobs. Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Given the choice, family, successful career, love and support of everyone.
Money
or heroin. I choose heroin.
You're willing to steal to get money just to do one. See, that's how much I know about heroin. I'm not even sure what you say. One shot of heroin, one injection, one where they burn the spoon underneath. I don't know if that's heroin.
Yeah.
That's something. What is that, Omar? You would know. What was that drug when you burn the spoon?
Crack.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Baltimore, so yes, I do.
Oh, you are. Yeah.
I actually, you know what? I saw that. I've seen that happen before in person. This is a great story. So my first job, or my second job, my first job was 7-Eleven, and then I worked at a friend. I was fired after like 3 weeks, and but it was bad management. It wasn't my fault.
Of course not. Then you have to do. Hold on. You know what you have to do to be fired from a 7-Eleven? It has to be pretty damn extreme.
I don't know what it was. I don't remember, but it was probably partially my fault too. So,
I imagine it would be.
But anyway, my second job was at a Friendly's, which is an ice cream store.
Yeah, I know
Friendly's.
Yeah, of course.
So, and
disgusting food. Good ice cream, bad food.
But introduced me to something I still to this day love to death, which I talked about a few episodes ago. Or maybe last episode, I don't remember. Which is my favorite dessert, which is vanilla ice cream with peanut butter.
That was last episode.
Yeah, so my peanut butter cup sundaes I first discovered at Friendly's.
Yeah.
So anyway, I worked at Friendly's, and long story short, I had these two friends of mine who worked there. These two brothers, Steve and Jay, right? And so Steve and Jay one day were like, "You want to know what? Let's go out after work." So we close work. And I drive them home in my 1984 Volkswagen Rabbit stick shift, right? Hatchback.
Yeah.
We get to their house, and I'm in their basement in Baltimore City. Okay, which is fine. I'm in their basement, and they're literally smoking crack.
Oh my God!
In front of me, and it was no big deal because that's what they, whatever. And they're like, "Do you have some, dude?" I'm like, "No, I'm okay." But the funny part of the story is that they had a sister whose name was Shantae.
Yeah.
And Shantae was probably 5'4" and 300 pounds. Okay. Shantae loved me. Okay. She loved me.
She obviously didn't do crack, right? Most crack people are as thin as a rail, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. She never came downstairs, which is great because she would have blocked the stairwell from me from leaving.
Oh,
because as I was trying to leave, she didn't want me to leave. She wanted me to stay. Like she wanted to like get with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
And so I was like, so I went to my car and I locked the doors. You know what I mean? And she comes.
You don't have to say, you know what I mean. We all know what locking the doors
I'm
is.
tracking.
Okay, I locked the doors, and she comes to the car, and I'm not kidding. She starts shaking the car.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding. Anyway, eventually she tired out. It's a lot of energy to shake a car, and I drove away.
So you just waited for her to tire out? And
you didn't just drive?
Fall asleep, and then you took off instead of starting the car and just going?
No, the other part of that story, it's not even over, is that my car was really low on gas, and it was diesel, and so I couldn't find a diesel station that was open. So I was literally trying to find anything. So again, I'm not making this up. I pulled into a liquor store, and I got like a fifth, or maybe I already had a fifth of gin in my car. I poured literally like gin or vodka into.
No, you didn't.
I'm like, it's alcohol. It will burn. Something will happen. That didn't do anything. It was still sputtering. And then I eventually.
Did that destroy the car?
Wait a second. I'm like, I pull into a gas station. I'm like, I got to just go to this gas station. But of course they didn't have diesel gas. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm putting unleaded in this thing. This is before they had the different nozzles. So
are you going to land this plane soon?
I put unleaded gas. It didn't work. I sputtered some more. I pushed the car for 5 blocks and found a place that sold diesel, and I got home safely. That's the story.
Oh,
that's
all right. So this is how you should end the story, just for the future. As you're at the gas station, all of a sudden you hear something in the distance, and here she's coming. The sister is running towards
the sister.
you.
Yeah,
and you're like,
Shantae,
you're trying to get gas in before she gets here. Well, she's big, so she's really slow. So you had time, and just as she got there, you filled up the tank and took off. That's how.
Were you able to sell this story to like MGM or one of the big movie houses?
I think it was on an episode of The Wire. Wasn't it? That happened in Baltimore?
It sounds like it was a Wire episode.
It was a lovely chapter.
That's quite the story.
Yeah.
I don't know how to unpack that.
Maybe she loved you. Maybe that was your.
She clearly did.
That was your woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
What could have been.
When I was
That's
younger,
doors.
I was incredibly unappealing to women, and the first women that actually I found were attracted to me were actually black women, African American women, and they were usually very big. And so when I worked at Friendly's, I got sexually harassed sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. This is all.
And one of the women who I wouldn't it was unrequited love. She threatened to put sugar in my gas tank if I didn't take her out to dinner.
Wow.
Okay.
You're very aggressive in Baltimore.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Did I mention we're recording? I hit record, Omar.
Should we do it once again? Should I start the intro
3,
again?
2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a non-Omar episode of
man, that was a lot.
Wow. So, did you say how you're doing, by the way? Was it?
Don't ask him again.
Was he fair?
I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
Good.
Okay.
Well,
I'm with you guys. It's great.
Yes.
We would never block your exit. We would let you go.
We would not do crack.
Yes. Yeah. We're good friends for you.
Yes.
So, hey, let's talk about the podcast and what we're going to do next year. And our podcast, the three of us come up with 3 topics that we haven't discussed before. We just clearly this is true. We didn't see that story coming.
Yes.
We each come up with a topic, discuss it, and hopefully you enjoy the conversation. We do have an email address, which I'll mention. It is friends@fts.media, and we have an email.
You've got mail.
And we probably otherwise I'll forget at the end. Why don't we, Josh? You want to address our?
You want to do
email?
it now?
We can do it now.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So we have a email.
You've got mail.
A repeat emailer from a Jamie Lipson, and she says, "Dave, Omar, and Josh, as you know, I'm one of your loyal listeners. I'd argue I am the most loyal. I just listened to episode number 19 and have a few comments." All right. So here's what she says. Number 1, I wanted to set the record straight that my family and I have dessert every night that we eat dinner at home. Dessert usually consists of ice cream or homemade chocolate chip cookies. We are not cake people either, so we never have cake for dessert. And also, if we're out to dinner, we almost never have dessert. So that's an interesting twist there too, because we kind of discussed it, but it wasn't really the topic. So Jamie has dessert at home, but not in restaurants. And we were talking so much about attempting all the desserts in restaurants versus home.
Ice cream and cookies, I think, as a dessert is a little bit of a half step down from like the cakes and pies. Like if you said, I had the impression that they had like really official dessert, brownies, cake, pie. I mean, the ice cream is legit, I suppose, but just ice cream or just cookies.
The chocolate chip cookies are like the butter of desserts in the sense that butter makes everything better, right?
That's true.
But so if you have chocolate chip cookies, you're already onto something good, right? So as a baseline for a baseline dessert at home, it's a fail-safe. Sometimes the cookies you actually make are brilliant. You know, they're gooey, but they're charred on the outside, and you have that with the ice cream, and they're still kind of warm.
And when they're warm, nothing better.
And by the way, Jamie, I'm curious if she has a cast iron, a mini cast iron dish, because what I do is I make deep dish in cast iron chocolate chip cookies. That way, when you pull them out of the oven, they stay hot the entire time you're eating them with the ice cream on top.
Oh, interesting. Nice tip.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
very nice. Well, and I wasn't saying that cookies are not a dessert or like any second-class citizen of desserts. It's just if you have a bunch of cookies handy, you're like, who wants a cookie at the end? You're not like making a new dessert. Like to me, a dessert implies like you've made it, or it's a
Yeah, no one goes to Morton Steakhouse and gets cookies for dessert. It's typically not it's a home dessert. It's a home.
I think also cooking for your children is something that's very magical. I mean, cooking desserts and baking is kind of wonderful, right? That's very enjoyable for her to do it at home.
Yeah. All right. She goes on to say, and
she sounds. By the way, she sounds like a very good mom.
Yeah.
Call me crazy.
She is a very good mom. I have a hunch.
Although tough on the dentist, but go ahead.
Here she goes on to say, Omar, and she addresses you. Omar, why are you getting a color on your nails, and why gel? I know men get manicures and pedicures, but they usually get clear polish and never gel. I am perplexed as to why you would even be picking out a color, let alone sparkly pink. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think you might need to invest in a pair of glasses. That's all for now. Happy podcasting. Do you want to address Jamie on that one, Omar?
Well, was the pair of glasses a reference to the fact that I picked these colors, or I couldn't see what she was putting on?
That you had no clue what the hell you were picking out. So why? Yeah. The first part. So why a color and why gel? Why don't you just get clear and no gel like most men apparently?
Well, usually you get white. Don't you do white?
You do black.
I do white or black actually.
Yeah.
Those are the two main ones.
So I don't think Jamie knows that you typically do have a color, although not a splashy color.
Yeah, but this is a little. Right now, I think I have flesh colored, which is a little odd looking. But
so do I.
The reason why
I have flesh colored all over.
Yeah.
I do nail polish. Then I started nail polish because I would bite my nails, and it forced me to. It really diminished the activity there, and I had a lot less like hangnails and those kinds of things. However, as you probably know from hearing about me and from these previous 19 podcasts, I'm like a man's man, so I'm very rugged. So my nails chip. If I get normal nail polish, they're literally peeling off within a day. Or breaking off, because I'm like working on cars.
So that's the gel.
Lifting weights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do gel.
Wait. Viking stuff.
Yeah. Where are you working on cars?
He's very manly, Dave. Very manly. He's eating chicken wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm my father's son.
A javelin.
I am my father's son, so I'm very comfortable around a car. But having surprisingly so. But anyway, gel lasts like a week to 2 weeks.
Okay.
And it's awesome. So it doesn't come off. And also on my toenails, because if you go in salt water, it comes off really quickly. So same thing. That's why I did gel there.
As I was reading that, I noticed we got several emails that just came in about your story, Omar.
That's weird.
Yeah.
We haven't posted yet.
That's weird. Yeah, we haven't even published this episode.
Why are they demanding their money back? We don't charge anything. Oh, that's good.
All right, so that was from our mailbag. So keep them coming.
Yep. Yeah. We. It seems so far we have most of our emailers are people who are disgruntled and defending some or themselves against some story we've told. I feel like if we offend everyone, our mailbag will grow exponentially. So
that's our goal then. That's our goal.
Offend everyone and
get the mail going. Yeah.
That's right.
I think Omar probably solicited. You got a few with that story. As soon as we publish it, it'll hit.
I always think it's the Reggie Jackson effect, right? Everyone hated Reggie Jackson unless you're a Yankees fan. But that guy was so popular, right? He was in movies. Like he knew how to make you mad, and but that is what his popularity, I think, came from.
What do they say?
Old reference.
No such thing as bad press.
That's right.
This got me thinking about something, and I don't want this to go in the wrong direction, but I think it's sort of.
It probably won't with your track record. So keep going.
So. Dave is like it's wonderful that we have him because Josh, he talks a lot, and I guess I do too, and Dave is like able to sustain a great level of, cohesion.
Professionalism.
Yeah, professionalism.
He's the quarterback.
And then I started thinking, I wonder who's more annoying, like me or Josh, to the listeners, because I'm sure it might be me, but then does it matter that So I'm curious. I wonder what the response is there, right?
Irritated.
So are you asking the listeners to write in just with who's more annoying? You don't have to write.
No, because I don't want to know, because if I start reading that stuff or whatever, it's going to really go to my ego. So I'm assuming that it's probably me.
All right. So you should have never brought it up.
That is so true, though. So I do another podcast that's based on the Green Bay Packers, and we have been nothing. If someone's going to email us, it would always be something nice. I have a new faith in humanity because of how many nice people there are in the world, because no one is, and it's not 50-50. It's generally nice responses. But every once in a while, we'll get something or a rating, and it'll say like, these guys stink. And man, does it bother me. It just really grates on me. So it is like, I think if I were to make any kind of creative art, I would not want to read my own reviews. I just want to make what I make.
So we're getting off on tangents here, but I just saw someone, a celebrity, say that. They said, I don't read anything.
Joe Rogan.
Yes, it was Joe. That's right. It was Joe Rogan.
The Dalai Lama.
He said, I don't read any comments that my listeners post. I don't want to read it. It's not good for your health. And that sounds really good. But I just think it's complete BS. I don't know. It's human nature. You're going to read that stuff. Everyone does.
I don't think we ever get any. But if we got some, I wouldn't read it. I don't want to know.
Yes, you would. I wouldn't. First of all, I'd read it to you. That's number one.
Yeah.
And number two is
votes
Joe
are
Rogan.
in, Omar. You're the most irritating.
I think Joe Rogan says that. Number one, he's incredibly popular. He's got a ridiculous amount of listeners. So I think he says that to discourage people from writing bad stuff. Because the whole reason of writing stuff is to get a rise out of the person who's reading it and know that you've hurt them, behind a keyboard, which is what everyone does on Twitter and all these other social media platforms. So I bet you that's hey, look, I'm going to say that and tell them I'm not reading it and discourage people from writing it, because if they're not going to get it read, then what's the point?
Yeah. I mean, it'd be hard to
I don't think that's true black and white. There's a big gray area.
All right.
Gosh,
okay. We'll see.
Yeah. It is. The idea that one bad comment can overcome a million good comments is so true, though. Oh my goodness, it's so
especially if it's written really well.
Yeah, well thought out. Yeah.
Dave, have you did you ever get any hate mail, Dave?
He just said he did.
Outside of your job, but what was
outside of your job?
Yeah, right. Well, actually, there was another podcast that was did early days with us, and they were kind of competing with us at the time. And on their podcast, they really slammed us. They were like, it's like listening to paint dry. And it's so upset. So we had to make a decision. Do we respond to them in our podcast? Right. And we decided, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to let it lie. Well, fast forward 17 years later, they own the website that we basically are hosted on. So it's come around.
There you go.
Also, these guys are professional painters. They paint houses.
Yeah, that's true. I misinterpreted. I didn't really think through their comment. All right, so are we ready to kick off the podcast?
Yeah, let's do it. My God, that was a lot of.
All right, I'll go first this time. I have a topic that I don't think will take real long. But yesterday, here in Wisconsin, my hometown, it's Racine, Wisconsin, which is just south of Milwaukee. And what's really odd about Racine, it's has lots of things a small town shouldn't have. One of which is a zoo.
I knew a guy named Racine. He's a bouncer. He's still around in New York. Really
his
nice
first
man.
Name? That's his first name?
I could never remember his name until I said, okay, Racine. Racine.
Is his last name Wisconsin?
I have to ask him. Maybe he's from Racine.
I'd want to get my picture taken with him. Yeah, so Racine, Wisconsin it's on Lake Michigan, so it has a beach, really nice beach. It has a harbor, a lighthouse, and it has a zoo, it's not a very big city, and it has a zoo.
What's in there, like dogs and cats?
Yeah, a couple squirrels.
Right.
Is it bad that when Dave mentions beach in Wisconsin, my brain immediately goes to that TV show Ozarks? I assume it's every place around Wisconsin is some version of that.
What's a lake beach?
Yeah, it's a Great Lakes beach, right? So I mean, we have waves.
Right, but it's not
one of the Great Lakes with a capital G.
Oh, I see.
But when you hear beach, you think coast. You think coastline, ocean. At least I do. Maybe that's just because
I'll take a picture for you guys. You would look out across this beach into the waves of Lake Michigan, and it could pass for Florida or California. I mean, you'd look left and right.
There's it's sand, just like a normal beach.
Sand, beach volleyball courts.
Okay, all right.
I mean, the whole thing. You'd be really surprised. It's such a unique town. But
does it have hypodermic needles like Jersey?
No, probably less than New Jersey.
That's a shame. That's a perk.
Yeah.
So are there waves there? Are there?
He just said there were waves.
But
there are waves. You couldn't surf them.
You can't surf them.
No, but they would be it would be rough enough where if you were out in a boat, it'd make you seasick. I mean, it's.
Oh wow.
They crest. They're waves. It's just not the ocean waves. You not have that much distance to build.
If you were a mouse with a matchstick, you could surf them.
Yes, it would be an amazing surfing beach if you were a mouse.
Stuart Little, right? Is that who that is?
Or Ralph S. Mouse.
Or that little squirrel. You remember that little? They have this water skiing squirrel.
Yes,
they would show
the
that
water
on.
skiing squirrel. One of the initial YouTube videos.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
so he would enjoy Lake Michigan's. Anyway, so I go to the zoo, and now it was on a Tuesday, and it's about 90 degrees here, so it's pretty hot, right?
Yeah, it's hot everywhere.
And we went around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we get to the zoo, and it costs $11 for each person to get into the zoo. All right. So I pay my $22 because there's two of us. That's quick math I did, and went in, and it's hot, but 80s, right? It's not.
Wait, who are you with right now?
I was with my wife.
Okay.
My wife. We want to go for a walk. We thought we'd walk. We walked through the zoo, and that's
you took your wife to the zoo.
We did.
Jeez.
It's a good walk. We walked 4 miles. It was a very good exercise. But I get in, and all the animals are inside. Like,
yes,
sometimes they're, they have an outdoor cage and sometimes an indoor cage, and then there's like, I don't know, a back room for these animals, right?
Oh, right.
They were all in that back room, and I thought, and then the zoo.
That's where they smoke.
By the way,
they take off their phony heads and they smoke.
Yeah, the back room is called the boudoir. By the
way.
Okay, well, I didn't know. Except I fed a giraffe, so we have that was cool. But basically, everything else, the lions, the tigers, the bears, all of them were inside, and everything else. I mean, it's a fine zoo, but all the animals were in. And I felt like, why did they charge me $11 if all the animals aren't going to be out and available? Like, I get it if they're too hot and they're plastered against the wall, so they're not moving. Which was the animals that we did see was like way in the corner, and they're like just a pile of fur, and they're not moving because they're so hot and tired. So I felt like I should ask for my money back. Like, so my question to you is, when you go to the zoo, like, what is you're taking chances here? Like, you take that risk in your own hands. The animals don't know any better, so sometimes they'll be entertaining.
That's why it's so exciting.
But they should be out, though, right?
I think
they should be out.
I think you should be ashamed of yourself. Especially in light of how you started this story. You said that you wanted, taking right through the zoo. Well, it's a walk. We get a walk in. It gave you something to do. And by the way, it gives you something to do. Otherwise, what would you do? You would
talk,
go to the beach, do something else. But the experience
but I paid.
But he didn't. But the experience he's paying for is to see animals.
But the point is, these zoos, they're not like it's Amazon or like McKinsey. They're not making hand over money kind of dough. No, right? No, they're really getting by. You should support them either way.
Okay. Well, that'd be one thing if they said, "Here, go through the zoo. The animals are mostly there, and if you want to make a donation, we recommend $11."
Right.
That would be very different. But they would not let me in unless I paid $11, and I got to see 30% of the animals that they had.
Yeah,
30%.
So here's what needs to happen, and I've said this before: going to zoos, they need to shut the door so they can't go inside in certain hours.
Yeah,
that's what they need to do, and so at least that they're out there. And by the way, these animals.
I'm not having this conversation with you. You're crazy.
It's not.
You're the guy that would chain up King Kong.
No. I'm not. I don't love what they do with animals in zoos. I think it's unfair. It's not great. It's not a real habitat for a lion to be in a zoo. And even though it looks like it's a big expanse of cage and whatever, it's just not. It's not normal. But since they are, let's shut the doors and get their asses out so we could see and point at them and take pictures with them. And we could have one guy who's a little slow accidentally climb over the wall and get his jacket torn by a gorilla, and we can all film it and then post it on YouTube. That's what the zoo's for.
So along those lines, I think I had some ideas.
Didn't Baxter do that in Anchorman?
Yes, that's right.
Well, she fell in.
The greatest movie dog of all time.
That's a good one.
Oh, that's right. The dog saved him, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, I've always thought what I'd like to do is get a very low-powered BB gun when I go to the zoo. This is my recommendation. I'm not.
What are we talking about right now?
Well, what I would think would be fun would be to go to the zoo and when the lions are just sitting there, like you get to take a shot at the lion, watch him run around all crazy. I think that would be. So I know you can't do that, but that's my dream is to be able to do it.
Oh my God!
But my
I have to say, this is the moment. It took 20 episodes. This was
Dave's gone rogue. Dave's gone rogue.
The single most offensive thing we've heard. Wow.
Well, how about this? This is my second idea to do this. Is to bring a hand mirror and shine the light so you either not. I wouldn't shine it in their eyes, but make the little shiny part. Well, maybe I would if they're not paying attention. But send a little light around the cage and make the monkeys go chase it. Like, I think that would be fun too. So I think I might go back and do my mirror trick. You think I get in trouble for that?
Yeah, I don't know if no, maybe I don't know.
He's kidding.
No, I'm serious.
No.
It's just light.
No,
You
but
want to see the animals. That's why you go to the zoo, to see
have you
the
told
animals.
anyone else this?
He just did. He just told a lot of
just
people.
you and all our listeners. But
Yeah.
I just, I wanted to move too. If I'm going to see them, I want them to. One time I was at the zoo and there was outdoor monkey display, and they're all just lounging on.
I love monkeys.
Okay, wait a second. If Josh and I asked 100 people if either one of those two things were appropriate, how many of them would be like, yes, one of them is?
How many people?
Yes, of the
100. 100 people?
Yes.
Three people.
I think less.
Zero for the BB gun. Yeah, 0 for the BB gun. But the mirror one, I think, is gold. I think that's fine.
What are you talking about?
Here's my point. So at this monkey exhibit, they're all lounging on the branches. They weren't moving. They were just.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a tornado was coming through, so the tornado sirens went off, and these monkeys like exploded with activity.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, they're like grabbing rocks and banging themselves on the head, and like they're running around. It was fantastic. Awesome. I was like, now that was worth the admission of coming to the zoo. So I want my animals to be freaking out or moving around or getting fed or something, right?
By the way, funny enough, Dave is the same way with his children. He shoots them with BB guns.
Yeah.
He has. Don't forget the taser. He has a taser as well. And then he'll shine bright lights in their eyes when they're trying to sleep or driving.
Well, if they don't do their chores.
What are we talking about right now? This is just crazy.
But imagine if you went to another show and the performers were just in the back and they didn't come out. They're like, well, the performers aren't coming out.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what these animals are. They're performers.
You guys are literally the guys who, if we were in a movie, that a shark would come out of the water and eat you right now. And the audience would applaud.
We're the red.
It's like they would applaud.
I was just about to say that if you go to an aquarium, you never have that problem.
That's true. Now, would you tap on the glass?
Of course, you always
tap on the glass. See, what I'm doing is tapping on the glass. It's a
sort of.
What?
Yeah, but I think the glass at the aquarium is so thick they don't feel that. It's a tapping on like a fishbowl, like a residential fishbowl or residential aquarium that would bother them.
I don't know.
Shark thing. I can't imagine my tapping on that shark thing is.
By the way, if I ever had really made it, and the sign I would really do, the one purchase I would do is I would get like a 10,000 square foot aquarium like Tracy Morgan has.
Like those, yeah, those are cool.
Like I would love one of those.
They're cool.
It's soothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you let people tap on the glass? It probably sounds. It either sounds they can't hear it, or it sounds like the worst thing ever.
So.
Their whole world
I can't imagine it's that. I just don't imagine in a commercial aquarium it's going to be anything.
All right.
But I'm with you, and they should close the doors at certain times. I mean, at least get them out there. But 80 degrees for a lion. Lions are from Africa. They face much greater heat than that. Yeah. Right. So I don't understand that, but maybe that's the problem with zoos, that we put them out of their normal habitat, and it's not right. But as long as they have it, let's get them out there and get them dancing.
I got sold a bill of goods. Yeah,
Everyone's literally waiting for Jaws to jump out of the water right now and eat.
Now I'll tell you a real quick story. My wife dragged me to the insectarium when my kids were little, which was like an hour drive. She said, let's do something different. I heard this insectarium was fun. We go there. It was the shittiest place you've ever seen. First of all, it was a bad neighborhood. You went in there, and it's literally, it's just little like cages, or not cages, but you know what I mean, like aquariums, little tiny aquariums, and it's written on a sticky on the front, spider, not African tree spider or Brazilian ground spider or whatever, just spider.
This
written on them.
This reminds me of the Chris Rock skit where his family was so poor they couldn't afford Robitussin, so they would just get Tussin.
Tussin, yeah, Tussin. That's right. That's what it felt. I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Even the cockroaches in the cockroach one, they were all like dead. None of them were moving around. And
wow! Well, actually, that's a very rare breed of cockroaches. The ones who actually can die.
The dead ones?
Yeah, the ones they're impervious to everything,
those
right?
Dead cockroach. That's how bad the insectarium was. And I still let my wife know about the insectarium to this day. What a waste of time and money that was.
We'll look forward to the email from her.
Disgruntled
wife too. Yeah.
She's waiting to compile all the other stuff into one gigantic email.
Oh, hey, one more quick thing about the zoo, which is I thought interesting, is there was an area that you walked into, and it was called Walkabout Trail. And you go in, and there are a section on the grass where the kangaroos are laying down. They were hot, and you could walk on a path, and there's a fence, but it was basically just a single board going across at around knee level. So you were exposed to the kangaroos.
That's pretty cool.
Easily could. I was thinking though, like all animals, even like the monkeys, like if you can't get close to them, even though they're cute, they'll rip your face off. I was thinking like
some of them.
Kangaroos must be more dangerous than
all the videos of fighting, like
they're cool.
What are those real videos?
I bet you
I'll send you a picture.
Those kangaroos were tranked at the zoo.
Maybe
they probably tranked them. That's why they're all lying down. Yeah.
You know that I have a friend. I'm not making this up. He's Australian, and he used to live in New York City, and he told me for years.
What's his name? Dundee?
No, his name was not Dundee. But he claimed to me that there is such a thing as miniature kangaroos, and that he was filing with the city where he could have one, and he was going to have a mini kangaroo as a pet.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
In New York City,
I swear,
ridiculous.
I'm telling you, I'm not making it up. And he never did it, actually. I'm going to ask him about that, what happened to that.
I have a serious problem with people owning exotic pets.
If he's Australian,
that's okay. As long as you're native, the pet is native to the land in which you were born, you get to own the pet.
I think it should have some
that makes
impact.
No sense whatsoever. So he's homesick, and he wants a miniature kangaroo.
It would have to be a very miniature kangaroo to have in an apartment. Can you imagine that?
That's ridiculous.
Those are big animals, so even a miniature must be the size of like a big dog.
Yeah.
Could maybe a baby kangaroo. Like I knew a guy growing up, and his parents got him when he was a little kid. They got him a Komodo dragon, right? And this thing, he had it.
Really?
He had it until his 30s. And the thing was enormous. And he couldn't stand it, but he couldn't bear to get rid of it.
They smell too, don't they?
It would eat his socks. It would eat like anything that was even remotely lying around, and he couldn't wait for it to die. He just couldn't wait, and it lived forever. It was ridiculous, and he had this thing, and it was enormous. It was like 7 feet long, or something crazy like that.
I mean, who were these guys' parents? Tarzan and Sheena of the Jungle? Like, who gets their
That's
kid?
A bad pet.
Who's Sheena? Does Jane know about Sheena? Jane of the Jungle.
Oh, Tarzan and Jane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you thinking of Sheena Easton?
No, there was a movie called Sheena of the Jungle.
Oh, really? All right.
With this beauty, I forgot her name actually.
Raquel Welch?
No. More beautiful than her.
That was
beautiful than her.
Actually, I thought that was a legitimate answer. All right. Yeah. Well, I think you guys have helped me. I am going to go back, and I'm bringing my hand mirror, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Lightning round. Favorite animal in the zoo? Mine is the gorillas and monkeys. I love it. I can sit there all day long.
Gorillas are although I did see a tiger, and the tigers are magnificent. I mean,
but they don't do much.
That's true. Yeah. Gorillas is a good one, but I'll pick tiger as be different.
Omar, lightning round.
I think I'll go with the monkeys.
Yeah, of course. It's always the monkeys.
Yeah.
They're the best part. I love them.
They're pretty cool.
Do you suffer from a crippling sense that your world is crumbling around you? Do the brief, fleeting moments of respite you cling to always seem to pass unregarded into the silent void? Do you wish you could spend time with thoughtful intellectuals who are similarly ignoring the dark, unwavering nothingness that creeps into your peripheral vision like some sort of stalking eldritch horror show? Well, that's too bad. Instead, why not listen to Man Bites Dog, a weekly podcast from Polite Company. Every week, hosts Michael Hill, Grant Hingeveld, and R. Case Hill dive into the weirdest news headlines from around the world in a game show that is often unfunny, inappropriate, and deeply weird. Man Bites Dog is available now wherever you get your podcasts.
All right. Josh, you want to go next?
Yes. So my topic is actually animal related too. This could be a whole animal episode if Omar falls through, but the chances of that are next to nothing. We are going on vacation, the family. This Saturday, we're going away for a week, and we're going to a beach place. So the place is right on the beach, and so a lot of our vacation will hover around the beach. But if you guys probably noticed, as my wife surely has, that there's been a ton of news stories on shark attacks. Are you guys seeing that where you are?
Yeah.
No. Lake Michigan has been surprisingly light.
Well, Lake Michigan, not so much.
No, but there's not. Sharks don't come to Puerto Rico.
Well, there are. It is Shark Week, number one. So that's the one thing that
maybe they're here this week.
But sharks swim free in Puerto Rico this week only.
Yeah. 50% off.
But it's all over the news. I don't understand how you haven't seen that. It's even on the national news. It's not just on the local news. It's national news. Like it's David Mira was talking about it. All the shark attacks
are up. Is it because of inflation?
They're pissed off.
Yeah,
they're pissed off because
driving them inland
is so damn expensive right now.
Yeah.
No, but it's so look, you guys didn't help me there, but it's all over the news. It's all over the news. The shark attacks.
I've seen them.
Okay, so and they're running these because it's Shark Week. They're running all these shark-related programs, and of course, the one we were watching last night together was all these shark attack stories of people, what happened, and how the shark came up and chewed their two legs off and then spit them out and blah blah blah. And it's everywhere right now. Everyone's talking about shark attacks, and now my wife's freaking out because there's sharks where we're going. I'm like, probably, but so I started digging. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Shark attacks are not really a thing. Yes, they happen, but the numbers are insanely.
I feel like we're an episode of Tucker Carlson here. So you're saying our sharks are they because of the left-wing media? Wait, is Soros funding these sharks? Do we know?
These shark attacks are being funded by Antifa. Yes, that is true. The Antifa is bringing them in to the shore.
Well, are you saying the media is overblowing these shark attacks?
Yes. What I'm saying is that this is utterly ridiculous that we are talking about shark attacks and how they're up. Now, are they up? Yes. So this year, we're on track to have way more than last year. And by way more, I don't even mean percentage-wise, because absolute number-wise ain't that much, right? And that's part of the problem here is people do percentages. So there was an increase of 42% more shark attacks in 21 than there was in 20. And now there's an increase and so people hear that percentage and they go nuts. But the raw numbers are nothing. And so let me ask you guys a question. What do you think is more likely? Being bitten, not killed, just bitten by a shark, or being killed by a dog?
Oh, I'd say killed by a dog.
Omar, you think that as well?
Bitten by a shark or killed by a shark?
That's right.
What's worse?
What's more likely? Jesus.
Oh.
What do you mean what's worse?
Yeah, I mean,
I think killed by a dog is worse than bitten by a shark.
Right.
Killed by a Q-tip is worse than bitten by a shark.
Can you imagine being killed by a Q-tip? That would be awful.
It would take forever.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so.
All right, Omar, I'm skipping over. You're not even. What about?
No, I'm listening to you. I reject the premise of the question. I mean, I think they're both horrid, whether a dog or a shark.
What is more likely? It's not which is worse. What's more likely? That's not a hard question. What do you think is more likely? Killed by a dog or bitten by a shark?
Okay, the shark.
No, that's my point. How about lightning? What's more likely?
Thanks for playing.
You're killed by lightning or by a shark. What's more likely?
I would say lightning.
Yes,
lightning.
It's 47 times more likely to be killed by lightning than by a shark. 47 times.
Wow. The
odds of being bitten by a shark are 1 in 3.748067 million. You are more likely to drown. The odds of drowning are 1 in 1,134.
Did you walk your wife through this?
No, I'm about to. I'm doing it right now, actually.
Do you have a presentation set up? Do you have
this is the presentation right now.
It is.
Yeah, right.
This is my way.
I think you're reading way too much. You should memorize more of the numbers.
I am reading them all.
Well, I just looked it up, and here's an argument you could make: is that it's 11 times more likely that you'd be killed by fireworks than shark attacks.
Yes,
is she not going to go to fireworks? Yeah,
that's another thing. And so that's what's even more amazing, because fireworks really only occur a couple times a year. That's it. Yeah. You can go in the water a lot, and you're still more likely to be killed by fireworks than you are by a shark.
Well, how deep in the water do you go when you go to the beach?
I don't go that deep. I mean, I go out. I could go out there if it's a nice day and it's really.
Are you a good swimmer?
No, I'm an okay swimmer.
So how?
I'm not going to drown. But
okay, can you swim like to? If was, hey, let's go swim to that boat and come back. Like, can you do that?
Where's the boat?
Like, if the boat's like, I don't know, 300 yards away.
300 yards? So I got to go 3 football fields? No, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Well, who wants to?
I'm not getting back.
How about 1 football field?
Probably.
Okay.
I could do
Depends
it.
how rough the waves are, right? And you don't want to do that because it'd be tough to swim back. Is the problem? You get in the undertow and you get swept out.
The swimming back is the problem on that.
Yeah.
On that example.
I mean, if you go out, do you go further out than where you can't touch bottom?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you do. So
if
I'm at the beach, if I go as far as my waist and
and that's it.
Lower.
Don't you like to ride the waves? Don't you ride the waves in?
But you can not going to the point where you can't touch bottom. I would just rather stay.
Dave, I think I'm with you. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
No,
all right, Grandpa.
well, I'm not surfing.
Do you wear your socks in there as well?
With a clash, if they go with my water wings.
Be nice.
Listen, everybody goes out into the ocean.
I don't go that deep.
You don't?
No. I mean, I can, but I don't go that deep at the beach. No, very rarely.
When you go in the water in the ocean,
yep.
Do you just go in there just to get cooled off, or don't you like to ride the waves?
Basically.
No. I'll go in there to cool off, but I don't ride the waves.
Or pee. I mean, I'll go in there to pee.
Of course. It's not Point Break. I don't know what Ryan. Are you body surfing? Is that what you're saying you do?
Yes.
No, I'm not 18.
You're not actually body surfing.
You're not body surfing, Josh.
It's fun. You go out there, you turn around, you wait for a wave, then you do a crawl stroke and try to time it in. Everyone does that.
Josh, is it body surfing?
I'm not good at it, but I do it.
I don't think. I think you're doing the equivalent of diving forward in a pool. I don't think that wave is carrying you hardly anywhere at all. Even if you time that wave, there's no body surfing at all that's happening. You think you are, but you're just.
Sometimes he ends up behind where he actually jumped.
How far do you think that wave is carrying you, Josh?
That's a good point.
It carries me into the shore.
How far?
If you get it right.
2 feet.
No.
You're not riding the wave with your body. I
know what he means. I've actually done this before.
Do.
It can be quite enjoyable.
It is, and it brings you into the shore.
I don't think I understand. I've done that a million times too, but you don't actually.
Oh, you have done that.
Just for I need to go in. I might as well go with a wave. But you're not really.
Sounds like you're going more than waist deep to me.
So I would go probably waist deep, and then the waves would come up to my head, and I can.
Yeah, but you got to get them where they break. So where I go in Jersey, you got to get them where they break, and if you get them where they break, you got to go out there a little bit.
All right. Well, then you will be exposed to sharks out there.
So I'm going to ask you a question: how many shark attacks, not fatalities, just attacks, do you think have occurred globally so far this year that everyone's losing their shit over? How many?
I'm going to
guess. What's the number?
11.
Dave?
Well, you just said it's up with inflation, higher interest rates.
Factor in the interest rate.
I'm going to say, yeah. So I'm discounting at higher.
How many people have been attacked by a shark so far in 2020?
Hold on, I got to discount at higher interest rates. So I'll say 67.
Carry the one. 49. That's it. 49 people total have been bitten by sharks. How many have died of the 49?
Oh.
How many were killed by sharks?
Then I'd say 5.
Yeah, 6. And most of these are in Florida. Okay? So everyone needs to stop.
The attack is worse enough. I suppose death is worse, but
death is
I'm changing behavior
worse.
Based on attack. Like that's enough. That I would never live normal again. If I got bit by a shark, I don't think I'd I don't know if I ever swim again.
There's obviously trauma there. I'm not going to, I would be very hesitant to go back into the ocean if I was actually one of these 49 people who are bitten. So don't get me wrong. It's a horrific thing. But you have more of a chance of according to this, of a dachshund biting your head off and killing you than you do of a shark attack.
They carry those statistics all the way down to the dog breed?
Well, I kind of embellished on that one.
Okay.
But yes, it probably is a Doberman.
Have there been any attacks off the beach where you are?
So
have you checked that?
So there have been shark sightings, a lot of them in Long Island, New York. So that's where they're talking about it right now.
How about Loch Ness Monster sightings? Does that happen?
There are more Loch Ness monsters than Chihuahua attacks.
Is that?
So
wow.
that's the only stat I have on that.
I was going to look into that.
But this is what's so crazy is that they show this on the news and then people go nuts and they go, oh my God, there's more sharks. And there are sharks that are coming to shallow territory because of climate change and things like that. So there is science behind it as to why you're seeing more sharks. They're just not attacking you. And so you're not going to get bitten by a shark.
When you say people, so you're saying your wife, or you're saying other friends of yours are also up in arms about this? When
I see it now, it's been a story on the national news maybe 3 or 4 times in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's an alarmist type of thing.
Well, it also means that it gets clicks. It's like the Khloe Kardashian summertime.
So there was a period, and it was, I can't remember the year, I think it was 2015 based on statistics, where they went apeshit over the rise in shark attacks. There were 98 that year. 98 in 2000.
Was that before? That was after the George Floyd thing, right?
That was before.
Was that related to?
It is not related to George Floyd.
Did Trump burn a Bible? Wait.
Oh my God.
He did
You're so off. You're in rare form on this podcast. My point is they need fillers. And when there's not news on a night that they can report, they fill it in with a shark attack, and then people lose their shit and they go, oh my God, sharks are attacking everybody. Sharks are rogue. And it's just not the case.
I think it's more than a killer. I think it's actually it triggers that, that part of the brain. People want to get the endorphin and read it.
So will there be more shark attacks this year than in all those years? If we're on the same pace, then yes, probably. But it'll be by single digits. And the fatalities, the most we've had, by the way, since 2000 have been 13 fatalities by sharks. And that was 2011. And most of that shit happens in Florida, and most of it happens to surfers.
Yeah.
So everyone's got to stop.
Yeah. I never knew you were a body surfer. I'm still trying to get my hands around that.
I'm not a body surfer. You're insinuating that I go to the ocean specifically to body surf. I don't. When I go in the water, which is rare and infrequent because I only really go in when I get so hot that I'm like, oh, I need to cool off, or I have to really go to the bathroom and I can't hold it. Those are the only 2 reasons I go in the ocean.
Being the guy, because Josh, I've seen you can't be in the sun for longer than like 60 seconds without.
No, incorrect. I can bake. I sit out there forever. I sit out there for hours.
My larger point is that I see you maybe being good at building sandcastles or being that guy, elaborate things, rather than going into the ocean like you're in Point Break.
You're right. I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm not saying I'm going out there and people giving me standing ovations. Everyone's getting out of their chairs and going, look at
the body surfer out there.
And they're all standing at the shoreline just clapping as I ride in. None of that shit's happening.
We measured it. You did 5 feet that time.
Yeah. None of that's happening. What I'm saying is that's what I like to do when I'm in it. Or you take a boogie board out there. That's even more
That's
fun.
different. Yes.
Well,
but you can do that along the shore, right? Don't people do that right along the shore? Or I guess you could do that.
No, those are skim boards. You're talking about
skim boards.
And nothing gives me more joy, by the way, than when I'm sitting in my beach chair and people are skimboarding and just wiping out. I root for that. That is when they face plant and the skimboard, and it happens. If I see a skimboarder, I fixate. Boom, I'm watching because it's only a matter of time.
Well, what you do what I do. I sit there with the hand mirror and I shot it into their face. And then they wipe out. Oh, it's great.
All right, let me ask you this. What do you think is more likely to die from? Choking on food or drowning?
I think since you asked the question, the least likely is probably true. But I'll say if I had to, I'll say drowning.
Yeah, you're more likely to die from drowning than choking.
Oh,
on
that
food.
is true.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
I wouldn't think that because you eat.
Oh, really?
Food.
I thought it's the other way.
Oh, you thought it was the other. I thought you were saying.
I thought drowning was more. Yeah, that was my going. Yeah, I didn't go against myself.
So this is the irony here, by the way. And let me just sum this up. This is the irony. The irony is that my wife says, "Oh my God, we're going to a beach. I have a little fear now of being bitten by a shark." Yet she's far more likely to drown than in the ocean than being bitten by a shark or obviously killed by a shark. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
What's the probability of drowning and then being eaten by a shark?
That's quite high. That is quite high. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but that's quite high. And I'm going to tell you my last pet peeve on this subject, and then I'll shut up, and then we can let Omar go. My last pet peeve is, so one of the stories we saw last night was this person who got bit by a shark, obviously, because that's what they're showing on Shark Week. And they're interviewing the person. The person says, one of my biggest pet peeves. They said, "Oh my God, I was so lucky." And I'm going, no, you are the opposite of lucky. You were horribly unlucky because the odds of you getting bitten by a shark are 1 in 3.7 million. So the fact that you didn't die doesn't make you lucky. I love when people say that. Something horrible happens to them that is just outrageously statistically an impossibility, and they're saying they're lucky. No, that's very unlucky. You were unlucky
to
be
bitten
by a shark. No,
Dave,
they're not lucky at all. It's horribly unlucky. You know who's lucky? The guy next to him swimming. The shark didn't bite. They decided to buy the other guy. That guy's lucky.
If either one of you guys were bitten by a shark, okay, and you survived, and the media is there to interview you, do you go and be interviewed by the media?
Yes, 100%.
Would you, Dave? I wouldn't.
Why?
I don't want to be in front of the press. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
Unless if I had like a voice distorter and I was behind a screen, maybe.
I think when I've gone through, like when I had COVID, and it was rough. Like I had a week or so that was really rough, and I told everybody. COVID come up. Oh, I had COVID. I should so I must be someone that would talk about it.
If I was bitten by a shark, I wouldn't shut up about it. I would be telling everybody about my shark attack. Are you kidding me? That's unbelievable.
You'd have a shirt that say, "Ask me about my shark attack."
Yes, ask me about my.
Then, in that sense, you're lucky, right? Like what you said earlier.
No, it's not worth the story. It's not worth the story.
Some things are worth the story.
No. But if it's going to happen to you, you might as well get something out of it, and that is telling that story over and over and over again.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you just one quick question. If you were going out to sea and you stepped on a rock and your foot was bleeding, would you think twice about going out, or would you, like, if you were bleeding, would you be out there with the potential shark attack?
Well, no, because I'm a big baby.
Piranhas,
if I was bleeding, I need to get inside and get
I guess
a bandage on that quickly.
I think if I heard their shark attacks are up, it would be on my mind. But
they're up like nothing.
I know. I think
of the
I would
millions and
I'm one of
millions
those
of people that are in the water at this very instant. Forget about all summer. Just right now, how many millions of people are in water somewhere where there are sharks?
I tell you, Jaws did a thing on me. I was a little kid when I came out.
Yeah, yep. Jaws is scary.
Yeah, I think that is something.
Movie.
Yeah, it is a great movie.
All right, so
shark's eyes, black like a dog's eye.
Next week is when you're doing this vacation.
Yeah. Now, what's funny? It's not going to be funny, but it's the irony here is that I will probably get attacked by a shark.
Yeah.
And then everyone will point to this episode and go, "Told you so." The
odds of a shark attack after talking about shark attacks on a podcast is enormously high. It's 3.5%, 4%.
But what a topic I'll have the week after that.
Our numbers will be crazy. We should title this one Shark Attack Week episode. It will get higher numbers. People will search for us. We'll find it.
Might as well.
I do love sharks, though, man.
They're cool.
I love hammerheads. I like great whites.
Are you just going to name sharks now?
No, I'm just thinking about the ones. I always loved hammerheads the most.
Hammerheads are weird looking sharks.
They're weird. Yeah. They're cool. How did that happen?
Yeah, isn't that weird with the eyes all the way on the opposite side? That's how do you have is your vision weirded out because you have eyes that far apart, or can you see like a central thing, or do you have
actually I've dated some women whose eyes are that far apart and they were fine.
And they're all right.
I'm making a joke.
Okay. What? You're making a joke?
I hang out at the Star Wars bar.
Yes. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Right.
All right, Omar. Do you want to go through your topic?
Yeah. I will. Thank you. Thank you.
You have to. It's part of the
your turn.
podcast.
So, do you guys? What's that phrase or that aphorism? If you aim for the stars, even if you fail, you sort of still end up in a pretty good place. I forgot what that.
Oh, that old thing.
You butchered the shit out of that.
Well, I guess let me put it to you another way. Do you guys have any specific people, individuals, whether historic or alive today, that in some ways encompass some type of aspirational energy from you? Somebody who you like, that person is like someone I actually want to be like, and or sort of attain their level of
a hero.
Yeah, that's realistic. Like someone who you like. I don't know, Josh. Maybe someone who's a great,
body surfer
or body surfer.
Yeah, there is a great body surfer I do look up to. He's phenomenal.
Or Tom Cruise. We talk about Tom Cruise. Cruise.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Cruise could be one, certainly. So
no, we have to stop mentioning Tom Cruise on this podcast.
Well, so I now have someone, and that has resulted in something could be transformational. We'll see, but I think it will help me maintain a level of discipline I've never had before. And it is so someone I'm close with. The person is Jared Leto. Now, Jared Leto.
Are you close to Jared Leto?
What would Jared Leto eat? Would Jared Leto eat this? Is my new like.
Tom
and
Cruise.
The reason I say this, because something happened last week where one of my one of my friends who works with me is in Greece with studying, and she sent me a text asking me if she could spend some days spending time on his with him, and it was her friend knows him. So she
wanted your permission to hang with Jared Leto?
Well, because it was going to be like in a different place, and that wasn't necessarily conducive, maybe as much as normally for her studying. So she asked me. She didn't need to ask me, but she did. And by the way, she signed an NDA. But that's a whole nother story. The point is, when I talked to her about her trip, I said, "How was it?" And do you know he's 3 months older than me? And she goes, "No way. He looks half your age." And I go, "What? How is that even possible? He looks like he looks like he's 16 years old." But people think I'm 32, like on a regular basis.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so, you keep saying that.
Yeah.
And I watched his movie the other day, Morbius, where he's a supervillain, and he's ripped. And I'm like, if he can look like this, then why can't I? And I bet you Jared Leto does not eat sweets. So I've quit sugar. Quit sweets starting today.
Wow.
And I've never ever quit sweets in my life. I've tried. I've never been able to do it. And I think I'm going to be able to do it now because of Jared Leto. And
wait. You don't even know if Jared Leto eats sweets. You're just assuming he doesn't.
I project it, but perhaps. But
what happens if you find out he eats sweets? Then what?
Well, maybe I don't want to find that out. I don't know. That's interesting.
Why would you want to
ask? I'm not going to ask. But
I'm going to Google it right now and ruin your whole thing.
You think you can Google that?
I'm going to Google it right now and ruin your entire thing.
You're going to find a picture of Jared Leto scarfing down a box of Tic Tacs?
Jared Leto.
Omar, let me ask you this question, okay? I'm going to give you 100 points, and you can allocate it to two different categories, right?
Okay.
And you can spend it all in one category or the other, or you can split it. And the one category is happiness, and the other category is, I don't know, being in shape or being the ultimate sort of shape that you'd want to be in. Ripped, atoned, whatever you want to have. You can, so on a scale 1 to 100 on each, how much you allocate to happiness and what do you allocate to this physical prowess you want?
Assuming that quality of life is the same in either scenario, okay, right? I'd rather be happy. I can't even see what that is.
Okay, I am holding up a picture for our listeners of Jared Leto eating a funnel cake. That was real hard to find. That took 2 seconds. Jared Leto eating a funnel cake. Now, are you going to stop eating sweets now still?
No,
no. Oh, wait. Here's Jared Leto eating chocolate cake. Here's Jared Leto eating chocolate cake.
Wait.
Isn't Google awesome?
No, but Josh, I'm not being clear on this. When I say sweets, I mean like sweets in my house. Like I eat candy.
Oh, so
all
Jared
day
Leto
long.
never eats any sweets in my house
I
either.
bet you he doesn't. I bet you he doesn't.
He's never been here.
Now, when I'm in restaurants, I will still eat dessert. But I mean for candies. You don't understand. I go through two bags of candies a day. 2 bags, which are meant to last a week for one.
That's ridiculous.
2 bags of like
honey. What kind of candies?
Honey drops. They're my favorite things.
Those aren't candies.
There's honey in the middle. They're so delicious. And they're terrible for your teeth.
Oh my God! Saying that honey drops are candies is like saying sweet tarts are fruit.
I'm eating 40 of them a day, and each one's like 30 calories.
You're eating a lot of honey. That's all you're doing.
And sugar. And I threw them all out today. It was a very emotional moment for me, but I did it.
So go back to my question. So you would allocate.
Why aren't you being supportive? You should be supportive.
It's not that I'm not being supportive. It's just the way you posed it. The way you said was like, I am now going to cut out all sweets so I can look as good as Jared Leto. I'm paraphrasing. That's basically what your MO was. Then we find out Jared Leto eats funnel cake and chocolate cake, and you have decided I'm just going to stop eating grandma's loose candies. Did I get that right?
And chocolate. No
you didn't
sweets
say that.
In my house at all.
But if your sweets outside of your house, no problem.
Dinner and lunch.
Lunch.
Yeah, this is.
But really dinners. We're really dinners.
Well, hey, go back to my question. What would because when I think of that question, I would want to put 100 points into happiness. If I'm happy and I'm like the happiest I could be, why do I care?
Look, fat and happy is a aphorism again. To use that word for a reason, right?
That's true, but I wouldn't be, because if I was out of shape, I wouldn't be happy, right? Because I think just who I am, it would bother me. But,
right.
But I think that I probably allocate way too many points to the in shape side because how much do I deny myself? Working out is not something I particularly like to do, and I don't eat things I want to. I mean, you got to really give up a lot of happiness points to be whatever shape and the Jared Leto's and Tom Cruise of the world sort of make you feel like, oh man, I gotta. This isn't good enough.
But there's a real gray area in this, in the sense that for me, and I think for many of us at some point, it's all about the quality of life, and I have genetically bad knees. So I'm very particular about a lot of parts of my fitness routine and my diet, except for the, voluminous amounts of candies I have every day for the last, 10 years. It's like every day in my house is Halloween. I have kids coming in and out of the house. Wait, that doesn't sound
good at all.
They are all wearing costumes.
That's not good either. Either.
But if that makes you happy, I mean, for some people that they can't break those two apart, right? Being in shape is what makes them happy. Like that is so much their identity.
But it's also the sugar. Sugar's very bad for you.
Sugar's not good for you.
I have so much of it a day.
Yeah.
I've somehow been able to sustain some level of, whatever, but it will be so much better when I'm off of it. And it sucks being addicted to anything. So now I'm going to have it more in moderation. I'm not going to, I don't think I could quit sugar. You guys quit sugar?
No,
of course. You guys tried to quit sugar?
I less of it.
A friend of mine did. You what?
Really, just I don't know how that's even possible.
I eat less of it than I did, and I used to.
I have my friend Alana did it for like 6 months. Unbelievably difficult.
Yeah, that's hard.
Take a ton of effort to do that. I could see no desserts, no sweets.
She did it so she could have more kids. It's very sweet.
Oh well, that's I guess if you have a goal for that. But I think I want to find that's sweet spot of I want to be happy. I don't want to deny myself so much for attaining. In my case, it's like what I weighed in college. Like that's a number that is in my head. That is probably not a good goal for me. That is just my body's just tight. It's just different. I can't get there anymore. But but I don't want to ever give up either. Like so.
Do you stretch? Do you guys stretch?
Yeah, of course.
No, I do not. I should.
That's the one thing I've been doing every day now, and my brother-in-law has always told me to do it. It's the most important thing.
But I don't stretch just for the hell of it. I stretch before activity.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to work out, I stretch, or if I'm playing hockey, I stretch, or if I'm going to go for a run, I stretch.
Hey, Josh,
I don't even do that.
But I don't just stretch.
Josh, can I ask you something? And I don't want to have this string out too long, but I just thought about something, because you do play sports. You play your hockey thing, and then you're active. Apparently you're a professional body surfer.
I'm a body surfer as well.
Do you stretch before you body surf?
I do not stretch before body surfing.
See,
but I do eat a whole turkey sandwich before I go in there, just to see if I can not cramp up.
That is a lie. You're right.
So we played to the audience, we played a 2-on-2 football game.
Oh, that was long ago.
About 10
I wasn't
years
in good
ago.
shape at all.
And Josh and I were a team, and usually Josh was like, okay, I'm going to be all-time quarterback. I'm like, okay. And I'm also going to be all-time line. So basically I ran every play.
That's right. Yeah. I had no endurance back then.
And so you're dramatically different, you're saying.
Oh, yeah. No question. I had no endurance. I couldn't run.
By the way, did we win that game?
Yeah, of course.
We did win, right?
Yeah.
And my golden arm.
LD, yeah. And by the way, whenever Josh messed up, it was always my fault. Whenever I messed up, it was my fault as well.
Yeah, because I could put the ball through a tire 100 yards out. I'm making it rain out there. So it's definitely your fault.
Limited mobility, though, at least at the time.
Yeah.
So, Omar, you want to be encouraged to stick with your sugar-free diet, because we can get up there?
This is all I heard. I'm going to stop eating hard candies, and I'm going to eat desserts every time I go out.
Hard candies is a big problem for me, a very hard problem. And Mike and Ike's and chocolate.
You didn't say Mike
and ice cream.
Mike and
I have 1,000 Mike and Ike boxes.
Mike and Ike suck.
That's such a bad one. Yeah, why would you waste calories, empty calories on that?
I'm gonna do it. And no, actually, I don't actually want you to be supportive. I actually like it when you told me that you thought I wouldn't be able to quit Instagram. That's better.
All right.
Yes, of course it is.
So you're going to fail, kind of thing.
You think Mickey told Rocky that no problem, he's got this?
Yeah.
No, he got in his face and told him he sucks.
Yeah, it's much better.
Much better.
You have found two guys who will tell you you're a failure. No one's better than us two.
From the day you met me, you guys saw that in me. Yeah. Oh,
that's right. You're gonna fail. Well, we'll want updates. All right. So we've it wasn't really an animal topic, but
nah.
It was
honey drops and bees make honey.
Bees. There you go. Way to bring it together.
From animal. Yeah.
There you go. Well, there goes episode 20. We 20 in the can,
in the book,
as they say. And great job, guys. And looking forward to the next 20.
David, this time we didn't talk about it last episode, but maybe a quick update from you, if any, on Death Note.
Yeah. So quickly. So I did actually watch one this morning. So I'm on episode 7
of anime. That's a Japanese anime that Omar.
Yes, Death Note is it's on Netflix.
That Dave and I tried. I don't like, but Dave does.
I am clearly in Death Note right now. I'm clearly in the back and forth between the character who's got the book, who can write names in the book, and then people will die, and the detective who's trying to catch him.
Yeah.
The leaps of logic that the detective makes to figure out. I mean, imagine it's a criminal who murders people by writing a name in a book in his room.
Hard to uncover.
Hard to find. To find. This detective is this close to nailing this guy based on a lot of really high-flying assumptions that are miraculously very, very close. But he's not caught yet, and they introduce a new character. And
are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it. Here, Josh, yes! I'll just tell you.
Question: are you hooked?
Yes.
I'm going to keep going with it, but there is a new woman that's in.
Which, by the way, is very much like our friendship when we first met.
You're
like, I'm going to keep going with it.
It takes a few encounters.
Let's see where this goes.
I don't like where this is going.
But there's a woman who has been introduced now, and she's suspicious. So she gave an alias because she is afraid that if she gives her name, then the name can go into the book. So she just gives an alias. And I thought, wow, that's a really big assumption she made. She figured out that if he doesn't know my name, can't kill me.
Can't kill
me. That's the kind
big
of assumption these are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's out there. It's out there.
Yeah.
Well, I think you got to get more context to why she did that, and her, she didn't just do it out of the blue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's more detail. So, Death Note episode 7. I'll keep going. I'll give you an update if things change.
And by the way, if I was in a town and people were dying randomly, I would be nervous around anybody new I met, especially sharks. By the way.
Yeah. Well,
he could do that. He could write a name and then write shark attack.
He could.
Yeah.
He could.
And then that's maybe why the numbers are going up right now.
I'm happy
Omar,
you're enjoying it.
You have the Death Note.
Yes, I'm
scary.
Happy you're enjoying that show. I love that show.
Yeah, I'll keep going, Omar. So, and then I'll recommend a show for you guys. Fair is Fair.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys, Josh, have a good vacation.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe from sharks. Omar, good luck with your diet. And next time, maybe you can show us how ripped you are. And I'll take videos of my zoo visit that I go on tomorrow. I'll show you all the fun things.
You going back?
Oh, boy.
With my hand mirror, yes.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, that's 20th episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. See you later.
See ya.
Smell you later.